One, one shot, now the future is yours. Go.
Hello and welcome to a super duper edition of the NBL1 show thanks to Coles Express. I'm Megan Hustwaite and Pete Hooley. We have got some great news, as always, to kick the show off.
Well, we do, and as with finals right around the corner, everybody gets a chance to watch the Elite Finals. You can see it on your screen there. The 2021 NBL1 Conference Championship games are going to be streamed live and free on KO Freebies. That's awesome for all the basketball fans out there. Catch all your favourite players and favourite teams in action.
You can download KO Freebies. Just go to the app, register for a Freebies account. It's free, no credit card details required to register. Start streaming. Well, the finals will be on there. It's going to be an absolute NBL1 feast.
Well, it tunes in Friday, September 3 and September 4 in NBL1 West. Then you got the September 11th in Central and September 10th to 12th with the best of 3 NBL1 North Grand Final series. And the rest for South is to be confirmed, but really looking forward to those conference finals games.
Now, finals kicking off in a couple of states this weekend. We're going to crack into it right now and start with NBL1 Central Finals. And let's take a quick look at the women, Pete.
Well, I'll tell you what, Forest versus North, Sam Simmons, we've had her on the show, outstanding, cannot wait to watch her, had a couple of triple doubles. But Olivia Thompson, we know how exciting she's been. She's got the Central record of 52 points. Looking forward to seeing how those two go.
So the Sabres and South Adealaide Panthers in that one. And let's take a look now at the men, and you've got your eye on a couple of games.
Well, I do. Forestville versus Nord. Anthony Green, looking really forward to seeing how he goes about his business. A lot of dunks there. And then North versus Southern. Going to be another one that's really exciting. Can't wait to see NBL1 Central Finals.
Well, speaking of the finals, they are kicking off this weekend. North Adealaide are in action and one of their stars joins us on the show this week. Welcome to the NBL1 show, Jess Good.
Thank you for having me.
You excited about playoffs?
Oh, absolutely. That's why you play sport, to get into the finals, so anything can happen from here.
And we know how important momentum is going into the finals. So how do you feel like the Rockets are playing, and you're excited obviously for this challenge ahead? We know you had a couple of weeks off with lockdown and now we're coming back into it, trying to build that momentum as quickly as possible heading into this important final series.
Yeah, momentum's everything, and coming off that doubleheader this weekend, it was a must-win for us. And to take the top team off with a loss, beating them was just absolutely incredible. And it's just got the ball rolling for us that anything's possible now. And each match is a do or die, I guess. So you just need to come in firing and do what you can.
Well, you mentioned that win over the top of the table, Southern Tigers. What was it about that game that made you guys play so well? It's, as you said, a massive win to help build that momentum. So what was the couple of things that really helped you guys get over the line?
I think just knowing that everything's on the line, and you never know what happens next season. So it could be the last time that we're playing with some of these girls, that we really just united, and our defense was just the best I've seen it. So hopefully that keeps rolling through.
Well, that's always a good sign heading into finals. You've got Forestville this week. How important will strong Team D be against a team like them?
Oh, it is so important. They've just got so many threats on the outside as well as the inside. So everyone needs to be on the same page and shutting down everyone to just make the looks as hard as possible.
You spoke a little bit about how exciting this time is around the finals. Is there a little bit more excitement and a vibe around trainings as you head towards the weekend? Everybody's just eager to get on the court and perform. And how do you try and contain that, making sure that when the game starts, you're at your peak and ready to go?
Oh, you just control the controllables. So trainings are still pretty light and a bit fun, but also super competitive. So we need to make sure they're hard because, as they say, you train how you play, or you play how you train. So you need to just keep that ball rolling and bring it on through.
Well, there's going to be a few balls rolling for you over the next few months because you are our newest dual athlete, having been drafted to Carlton in the AFLW. How exciting is that? And is it something that you've been dreaming about, playing both sports?
Oh, it is just absolutely incredible. Probably as a young kid, it wasn't really a dream to play both because just women's football wasn't a thing. But now to be able to do both, it's just, a dream come true to play at these high levels. I couldn't ask for anything better, really.
And we've seen a lot of success in a lot of the women around Australia who do both sports, especially basketball and football. We've seen Monique Conti doing it very well. So do you kind of draw on how the success and I guess the work ethic that goes into being able to do both at such a high level, or are you thinking maybe you'll just go down and focus on one in a year's time, or are you going to try and juggle both for the next couple of years?
I think both, because they will go hand in hand. Like the basketball skills easily transfer over to football to be able to just change and be on offense to defense just simultaneously. Like it's just, a really good thing to be able to do and to keep those skills in check. And then the fitness and the running from football will really help with basketball, I'm sure.
And one of you co-captains at Carlton, Karen Harrington, of course, a former WNBL player. Have you played against Kez before in footy or basketball? And I'm sure she's had some encouraging words for you.
Yeah, I've never actually played against her in football, but basketball, we're on the same team with Adealaide Lightning, and I'm just so stoked to be on the same team with her. She's an incredible person, incredible human being, and an incredible athlete. So it's just going to be awesome to be reunited and teammates.
Well, we have asked this of everyone from NBL1 Central when they come on. Favourite place to play at besides your own home stadium? Favourite place to shoot at? Certain place that you feel good? I say that because a lot of people do say Wayville. So that's the Forestville Eagles home ground. Do you have a certain place that you feel most comfortable that's not the Rockets home ground?
I guess Wayville, just because they've been so accessible to do indies and shoot-arounds and things like that there. I've done quite a few sessions there, so hopefully that transfers over to Saturday's game.
Hopefully it is a happy hunting ground for your sake and also the Rockets. Jess, thanks so much for joining us on the show and best of luck this weekend.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Finals are also tipping off in NBL1 West, Pete, and there is so much to be excited about.
Oh, the bracket is jam-packed full of exciting games. I'm looking forward to watching Rockingham versus Cockburn. Alex Chibatoni, she's playing some really good basketball right now. She's one to watch. And then Stacey Barr from the Warwick Senators against Mandurah. Looking forward to that one as well. And
some big matchups coming up in the men's finals as well.
Well, there is. It's going to be a really exciting game between the Magic and the Cougars. Man, we're about to talk to Nick Pozoglou. He's MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. That's definitely a man to watch. Andrew Ferguson from Perry Lakes as well. Looking forward to watching how he goes. He was the runner-up in NBL1 West MVP. Well,
let's get to the MVP now. Our special guest on this week's show. Welcome to the NBL1 show, Nick.
Hey guys, how are we today?
Well, we're very well, just like your form has been. What did it mean to win the ultimate individual recognition?
Not really too sure, to be honest. It still hasn't really sunk in because that day, man, we qualified for finals, which is something we've been aiming for the whole season. So I was really excited about that. And then I guess the awards night kind of topped things off with a little cherry on top.
Well, not only that, but you get the MVP and you get Defensive Player of the Year. Now, what was your mindset coming into the start of this NBL1 West season? Because it looked like every week you just added to your game. We know you're a highlight machine. We're seeing some of those highlights now, but it seems you've really just adapted all over the court.
Yeah, I mean, the adaptations kind of came throughout the season. I guess there was a lot of things I learned in my time at Perth with the Wildcats, and there was no NBL1 season last year to really show any of that. So I guess coming off a year break, it did take quite a few games for me to get back into my rhythm, but yeah, there was a lot of things that I'd worked on that now I got to come out and show.
Now, from a team point of view, the Cougars have scraped into the finals on the back of two very important wins at the weekend. How important is it to take that momentum into the playoffs?
I mean, it's very important. I know, Pete, you would know how the finals are structured. NBL1 South 2 years ago, Bendigo came from 8th and made the finals because they were the hot team. They were the form team going into the final series. And if you just take one game at a time, you keep winning and anything can happen.
Yeah, bad memories to bring up there for me personally, but I appreciate you not saying that nonetheless. But we talk about your highlights.
Don't worry, they beat us on the way there too.
They did. A lot of hype around you this season, and we're not just talking about highlights because of the way you're playing, and we know your partner Molly's been hyping you up on Instagram, but someone else, Perth Wildcats and NBL legend, has been really being your hype man, Damien Martin. You do a little bit of working out with him. What kind of mentor has he been for your game?
He's been great. I mean, he's just always so level-headed. Obviously has been around the block. He's been to the Olympics. He's multiple championships, multiple Defensive Player of the Years, without trying to pump his tires up too much. So just having that guy who's been through it all, who's been through adversity, and just helping me with the mindset and just how to go into each game, how to approach each game, how to approach my teammates, and just with leadership and those kind of things, it's been instrumental.
We'll talk a little about that mindset, because you're trying to crack into the NBL again. We know you've had those stints around the league, a development player, and trying to really crack in. So how do you approach each week and each game with that pressure, I guess, to perform? Because it looks like you've just taken it on board and you've really, I guess, not exceeded expectations for those who know how well you can play, but you've really just put yourself out there as one of the best unsigned players in Australia right now.
Well, I mean, that pressure kind of got to me quite a lot in Melbourne a couple of years ago. But this year around, because I'd already had a year out of the league, I didn't really feel any of that pressure. And I just tried to focus on the team aspect side of things, just try and win every single game, try and do everything I can to win every single game. It's not always offensively that you need to have an impact. It's mainly defensively. And that's what we wanted to do at Cockburn, is just be the best defensive team in the league. So it started on that end for sure, and then whatever happens on the other end happens.
Well, speaking of mindsets, it's a do or die elimination final for Cockburn this Friday night against Mandurah. What kind of mindset do you take into that?
Well, I mean, they've beaten us twice during the season. That was when we were going through that rough patch, but still they're a great team. They've got shooters everywhere. They've got big guys down low. They've kind of got the whole package, and they're a team that can come out and beat anyone on any given night. So we just have to go over the scout, try and lock in on as many guys as we can, and try and have a great game ourselves. But yeah, I mean, it could very much go either way.
Well, we know you're going to have a huge part of what happens in the Cougars run to the finals. But before we let you go, got to ask, as a highlight machine yourself, you're actually on the opposite end of viewing probably the highlight of the year coming out of the NBL1 West, with Dunk of the Year potentially, and no lob was thrown, but you said to me you had a good view of that. What was it like to know that one of the biggest highlights you were just part of and not actually doing for once?
It was quite good, because you only get one camera angle really with all the NBL1 games, and I kind of had that courtside view, that view from right under the hoop, and it was a lot better than it looked on the camera. So I mean, I always tell Josh to go hard at the rim, to go strong and be aggressive, and he's got the hops to do it. So I was just glad that he took it at him, and finished strong.
Well, Nick, it's been great to catch up with you today, and we reckon there's a few more highlights to come from you and your team in the finals this weekend. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Hopefully. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's take a look now at NBL1 North. No action this week, but then we're going to be straight into the finals, which is so exciting. So a few changes to the fixture there, and then we're straight into it.
Oh, looking forward to that. You can see the matchups on the screen. Really exciting time. NBL1 North is going to be some massive matchups. Make sure you tune in there, both in the men's and the women's bracket.
We'll have the finals format, all the dates and times, of course, on the app and our socials. We're thinking of everyone, of course, in NBL1 as we head into an extended lockdown here in Victoria.
Yeah, stay tuned to the socials for everything with NBL1 South, but more importantly, check in with your mates, your friends, your family. It's a really tough time. We've been here before, we'll get through it again, and we can't wait to see everybody back out on the court.
We also can't wait for the finals that are starting this weekend in NBL1 Central and NBL1 West. Of course, download KO and get onto your KO freebies. Enjoy all the NBL1 action, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure.